back to the channel. I'm Zenith, and in today's video we're going to be breaking down the Max Holloway versus the Yair Rodriguez fight. Really good fight card this weekend. If you have not subbed yet to the channel, please hit that sub button. Let's get into it. Alrighty, so we had Max Holloway versus Yair Rodriguez this past weekend at UFC 197, I believe it was. I'm just going to take the time to talk about the main event, talk about the fight, and then we'll probably go into the next fights we can see for both of these contenders at title shot. Now, first off, I just wanted to say I apologize to Yair Rodriguez. I was heavily, being that Max is my favorite fighter, I honestly watched Yair fight a little bit before this, but to be honest, his absence of 2 years, my bad, let me just mute this real fast so nobody interrupts us. Alright, his absence of 2 years made him forgettable to the average fight fan, you know what I'm saying? And I'm more hardcore than anything, but then if you think about it too, the people that he even fought, I apologize because I just claim out. I didn't even give him a chance. I didn't even say in my prediction about this fight that he could win this fight. I basically just said Max is going to demolish him. And what Yair showed me out in this fight is, man, this guy's one tough dude. And not only that, is that fighting style that he has it can clearly beat people in this division in the top 5. I'm just gonna say that Max is just a superhuman. We're gonna get into Max. We're gonna touch on Max in a second, but to just touch more on Yair, to be able to, take all the punishment that he did take and still throw back with power, still stay focused, stay calm, stay collective. And not only that, but even take some rounds, steal some rounds from Max. Max is not the champion, so, it's anybody's rounds. But basically, take control. He came out and he took control of the fight immediately with the leg kicks. Immediately, he told Max, "This is how I'm going to fight you." And immediately, his combinations with his kicks. I think if Yair works on his hands, he's going to be one dangerous, if not the best in the division. Obviously Max is there, obviously Alex is there, but if Yair works on his boxing, man, the sky's the limit for this guy. I'm not saying he has bad boxing, it's just he tends to lean more on his kicks more than anything, and I think if he mixes up his kicks with his hands, he's gonna be one dangerous person to face. He's already dangerous, and if it wasn't Max Holloway across of him, Yair Rodriguez probably would have won this fight. This has probably been the best Yair Rodriguez we've seen in forever. This is probably the best we've seen yet. That's what I meant to say. Not forever because he is still young. But let's just take a look at, the fight real fast. We'll walk through it. And then, I can always pull up these guys' records when we go up to them later. I got Yair record. I got Max Holloway's record. We can go in and I know what's best for both of them going forward. But right now, we're going to break down, the fight in general. So, as you can see, that's the strikes landed. Get into Max, too. It was surprised to even see him attempt takedowns. Now, I think he did attempt takedowns because Yair was kicking that leg really. He damaged that leg. There's no doubt about it. That leg was damaged. Being that to Max, he was walking on it after, but both fighters did get transported to the hospital. So that's the good thing about it. Speaking of Max, it's nice to see him mix it up, because a lot of people just look at Max as a striker. They just look at Max as, obviously he says it, the best boxer in the UFC. He's my favorite fighter, but damn, this UFC is talented. So I'm gonna give him one of the best, but if the best, there's a lot of competition. But yeah, absolutely up there, debatable as one of the best. We know him as a striker. Yes, he mixes in his kicks, and yes, he has a clinch game, but we mainly know him as a striker. Now, to see Max mix up the takedowns, that just yet shows him another level to this guy. And I think he got better being in quarantine. I think, as stupid as that sounds, I think when a fighter it was kind of like the COVID if anything, helped him in a way. I know that's stupid saying, but in a sense of he was able to gather his skills and his conscious mind and unlock the hidden abilities that's always been there. He was able to focus his chi, if you kind of understand what I'm saying. And his ability to be by himself, or maybe he had a friend over to just wrestle with or anything, but not being able to train, having to train over Zoom. Sorry, he said that he was able to he wasn't able to, but he said he trained for 2 hours. He'll go back because it's in his garage, right? He'll train for 2 hours. He'll go back. He'll do some stuff around the house, and he'll go back. And it was always available. That garage was always available, obviously because he was in his own house. But those moments that a fighter puts himself in alone in the garage, those dark moments where you all you have is you and your mind, and you can really start to feel and start to I don't know what that visualizing, start to visualize the fighter that you can become, and not to sport. I think is 100% amazing. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's 100% right. You know how to fight already. You don't need to spend time getting hit in the head unnecessarily. Now, if you think about his game plan for this fight, obviously he started off slow. I think Yair Rodriguez dictated his game plan for a little bit, but he was able to change it up on the fly and adjust. And that's one thing that separates good fighters from great fighters. Yair did a good job of adjusting too, but at the end of the day, Yair came out strong in the first 1-2 rounds with those leg kicks, and you can slowly see that the fight as the fight went on, those leg kicks less and less started coming. Only reason why a lot of people could say, like, why didn't you just stop? He should have continued kicking the leg. The thing, he didn't continue kicking the leg. The reason why is Max took that weapon away from him. Max aggressively, not overly aggressively, but changed his fighting style to adapt to that leg kick. So to a sense, he was able to avoid it betterly. Obviously, he didn't change stances that much, but he also applied the pressure on Yair, where he had more things to worry about than just because the thing is, when Yair kicked early up in the fight, Max grabbed him and took him down. So by making the adjustments and knowing that, okay, you want to heavily attack my leg, okay, my leg's gonna be there, but you can heavily attack it. It's not gonna do anything, because he showed, not only did he make the adjustments, I'm sorry if I'm all over the place here, not only did he make the adjustments, but he showed the ability to just walk right through anything Yair had to offer. And that's what makes Max so special. It doesn't matter what you throw at this guy. This guy's gonna walk right through it. He never been knocked down in his UFC career. This guy is clearly, a superhuman in the sense of he just has that Hawaiian blood. He has that mana. I'm from Hawaii, you know what I'm saying? Like, I rep the HI, So the thing is, like, that was just an amazing performance from Max, and I'm glad that people got to see his ability and his game on the ground. I think that, obviously there is phenomenal wrestlers in the UFC and phenomenal wrestlers in the featherweight division. And obviously that's not Max's first choice. But the ability to show it off and know that it's there, he may say his legs not hurting, but his legs was physically damaged. So go in for takedowns. You know what I'm saying? Like, why not? Why not mix it up? We can just scroll down real fast. We could see the just some significant strikes based on to the body, to the head, to the leg. You can even I'll scroll up. I'll let you read that, and we can even also we can scroll down to see the strikes by position. The distance control and stuff like that. Another clear, Yair Rodriguez did put in some work. I don't want to take anything away from him, but it was Max Holloway across of him, and it was a win-win situation for him. He had nothing to lose from this. So shout out to Yair Rodriguez for putting on a performance that you did, and let's just go over your record, and we can go. We can see who you're gonna fight next, and who's a good opponent for you to fight next. Now, I was looking over this before I went live. Well, not really live, but before I recorded this video, and I was thinking that, man, Yair Rodriguez, he might he might do good if he was to go against maybe someone like Kelvin Cater. But unfortunately, Kelvin Cater, he's scheduled to fight on Fight Night 200 on January 15th, 2022 against Giga. So, if you look at who he faced, I mean, like, obviously he lost to Frankie Edgar, but that was a doctor stoppage and all of that. And obviously he lost to Max Holloway because it says losses. But, outside of that, this guy has been against tough MFers in the division. You know what I'm saying? If you look at Dan Hooker, if you look at Andre Feely, if you look at, Jeremy Stevens, if you look at Korean Zombie, that upwards elbow that he landed against Korean Zombie, truly amazing. Obviously, BJ Penn, which not even gonna go there. We're not gonna talk about BJ Penn. Thing is, he did beat BJ Penn, and that's a Hall of Famer. We have to give BJ Penn his respect. That is a Hall of Famer. So he beat a Hall of Famer. So the thing is, why not put him against someone, like maybe Brian Ortega? Both of them is coming off of losses. Both of them never fought yet. The thing is too is Brian Ortega is on a 6-month suspension, being that his fight, it's normal. If you're not a fan of UFC, these suspensions are normal. His fight, a championship fight, the committee suspended him for 6 months. You want him fully to get healthy, Obviously, fighters are never fully 100%, but that's his time. So you're looking at April, you're looking at March, you're looking at April for a good fight time to come and schedule your Yair Rodriguez versus Brian Ortega. I'm just throwing it out there because Yair Rodriguez showed that he's the top 3 in the division, and to be honest, we can talk about that at a later time because I think Ortega beats him on the ground, and Ortega, he showed boxing skills, but I think Yair Rodriguez is his next fight, man. This guy's gonna be really good, and this guy is already showing greatness. These guys are really showing greatness. I don't care what anybody says. What I've seen, from what my eyes seen, Yair Rodriguez will be great one day in this division. You just watch it. If he's not already, he will be great. It's just unfortunately he was matched up against Max Holloway. Speaking of Max, let's just go look. We already know what's next for him, what should be next for him. This guy clearly, his last 2 opponents, if you look at it, he beat Yair, he beat Kelvin. People can say Kelvin was unranked. He was only not unranked. Obviously, he was ranked 6th or 8th, but he was not worthy enough of the opportunity against Max. People can say that Yair was not worthy enough of the opportunity against Max, so of course Max should have won against both of these fights. You can say that, but what Max shown against in both of these fights, Max shown to clearly be a superior boxer when it comes to the Calvin Kattar fight, and a lot of people was hyping up Calvin Kattar's boxing. Max let them know that there's levels to this shit. Alright? Nothing against Calvin Kattar there. Yair Rodriguez, a lot of people was a little bit more, less on the hype, but knew this guy was a killer. That this guy could get the knockout. This guy could pull it off. But then again, off for 2 years, the comeback and the fight Max Holloway, that's why I give Yair so much credit. Because he put up such a great performance. And unfortunately, Max was just a better fighter that night. Alright? So that being said, we can look at his record. He lost to Volkanovski twice, we knew that. He lost to Dustin Poirier twice. Alright? Outside of that, he lost to Conor McGregor. And he lost to Dennis Bermudez. But we're not going to look at all of that just yet. We're just going to scroll up because obviously this is a different version of Max, right? So this version of Max, obviously, he won the second fight. I give a fuck what anybody says. I just said he lost because that obviously it's on his record. He lost. But he only lost because of those 3 stupid fucking judges, alright? Outside of those 3 stupid fucking judges, he won that fight, and this is a whole different story. But this is straight something from, straight something from, I was gonna say from a movie. If you think about it, man, this guy changed. I think maybe Chael Sonnen, I'm getting this idea because I was watching Chael Sonnen the other day. And Chael Sonnen compared Max Holloway. He kind of got that Rocky feel. And I want to jump on that because of the fact that, you're going against Alex. If you do go for a title fight again, you're going against Alex and you clearly lost against this guy twice. Obviously, you didn't clearly because you won the second one. But on the record, it shows that you lost against him twice. So a third loss on the record, not look good. So there's 3 options right now. You can go up and you can fight a 155 top contender, I don't think you handed the Oliveira fight because the 155 division is just too stacked right now. And you know, we got Gaethje, we got Poirier obviously fighting. Poirier is obviously fighting the champion Oliveira. We got Jason Gaethje next in line. Jason Gaethje is another real one. Max Holloway and Jason Gaethje will sell tickets, and that'll be a major fight. Major fight. But Gaethje already has the opportunity for the title shot. I mean, like, Gaethje's another real one. Gaethje could be what Max did. Max had the title shot, still chose to fight Yair. Gaethje could be, you know, thinking about future and thinking about legacy, and I want to get that win versus Max. So that should be a nice prize fight, Max versus Gaethje. Winner gets the winner of Oliveira versus I'm sorry, I'm mentioning your name, Poirier. Oliveira versus Destin. Or, you know, there's also talks about Max versus Conor. There's talks about there's videos of Conor eyeing out Max, walking, staring him down in front of his TV, just for hype. You know what I'm saying? Just for clout, I guess, staying relevant. That could happen. You know, the last person that to beat Max before he bet on his run was Conor McGregor. You know what I'm saying? First fighter to take Conor McGregor to a decision. Conor McGregor, I believe, broke his hand in that fight too and still got the victory. So that shows you how good Conor was at the time. You know what I'm saying? But I think this is a two versions. This is Super Saiyan 3 Max. So you fought Max at KO Ken, Conor. You fought Max at KO Ken. This is Max leveling up to Super Saiyan, alright? This is him achieving Super Saiyan 2, alright? This is him taking the losses and coming back and ascending again. Because we all know Saiyans, when they take losses, they get more powerful. Sorry with that anime reference. I hope you guys like that. So, you know, you're fighting a whole different Max. Obviously, we can say the same thing about Conor, and that's what makes it such a intriguing fight. Max versus Conor will make such a intriguing fight. And then, there's the other answer. We get that third fight, you know? You get that third fight with Alex. My bad for the hydration check. You get that third fight with Alex, and we get it done. We get it done in the sense of, I think this Max beats Alex, hands down. Hands down. Nothing against Alex. Clearly, the guy's on a 21 fight win streak. Like, never lost in, like, the last 21 fights, if I'm not mistaken. It might be the last 20 fights. I believe he lost his first fight or something like that. We can actually go check that out right now, actually. So he lost his third fight. So he's on a pretty decent streak, if you ask me. And the people he fought against, obviously, took out the division, right? Took out the division ones of the division. So the thing is, does he really win the division? Because Max is still right there. And I still think Max is obviously he's not the champion, but I still think that Max has what it takes to get that belt back against Ortega. Not against Ortega, my bad, against Alex. That being said, we've been going for 18-21. I just been talking, so hopefully you guys like this video, and that's my opinions on the fights, man. Hopefully you guys like it, and thank you so much. Y'all have a good one. Let's get